settle down and be quiet.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning, respected faculty members and my dear fellows. This is Ikra Bharejo along with my co-host. We welcome you all on the behalf of our whole team. I request all of you to please stand up for the national anthem.
As all of us know, that university is an institute where much needed human resources are manufactured with great affection and skill for the general progress of the society. We are delighted to have you all here. Today, we are here to conduct an event on ethics and values organized by Departmental Facilitation and Supports Club, Career Planning Society, Department of English, Undergraduate Studies. We hope this workshop will prove beneficial for all of us.
Let's start the event with the greatest name of Almighty Allah. Indeed, the most gracious and merciful, whose being is eternal, whose mercy is unlimited, whose blessings are uncountable, whose love is our life, and whose worship is our faith. So, I would like to call Azaz Essen for the recitation of few verses for the Holy Quran.
من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما يستوي الأعمى والبصير ولا الظلمات ولا النور ولا الظل ولا الحرور وما يستوي الأحياء والأموات إن الله يسمع من يشاء وما أنت بمسمع من في القبور. Those blind and those who can see are not equal, nor are the darkness and the light, nor the heat and the shade, nor are the dead and the living equal. Indeed, Allah alone makes whoever He wills hear. But you can never make those in the graves hear your call. Sadaqallahu al-Azim.
Jazakallah Azaz.
Now let's begin with the workshop. I would like to call Mr. Abbas Karim from BS English 2C Morning to present on ethics and values, followed by an interactive session with the audience.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning, everyone. My name is Syed Abbas Karim, and I'm a student of BS English second semester. Today, I'll be giving a brief presentation on the topic ethics and values. Dear audience, ethics and values, morals and morality have been topics of interest for philosophers, scholars, theologians, and social scientists for centuries. They have given different kind of point of views and theories. Those theories and point of views ultimately formed different contours of thoughts, ideas, explanations, and interpretations. Those explanations and interpretations are then used by us in order to behave, formulate our actions, make decisions in the society, not only at an individual level, but as a community as well. Ethics and values are very much important and significant yet very complicated and difficult to understand. The grandiosity of the topic that I'm going to discuss right now, you will understand the grandiosity and the complexity of the topic by looking at this quotation by an anonymous author, and I quote, "It is difficult to explain ethics, values, and principles of practice in a limited space and time." I'll try my best to make sense of the topics that I'm going to discuss right now in the 25 minutes that I've been given. First of all, I would like to give a general overview of the topic. So we all know that for measuring something, we need a standard, right? Like, for example, if I'm measuring weight, I need a standard, and that is called kilogram. In the same manner, human conduct is measured in something that is called values. So basically, human conduct is a vast term. It includes so many things. It includes our interests, it includes the concept of right and wrong, bad and good. It also includes our dislikes and likes. It includes what we give importance to and what we don't. It includes goods and bads as well. After this, when it comes to ethics, so ethics is the standard of studying the human conduct or code of human conduct. What is meant by this? While you're studying human conduct, so basically you do not keep in view the interest that you have. It is totally totally related and restricted to two things, and that is to differentiate right from wrong, good from bad, fair from unfair, and proper from improper. When it comes to morality, so morality is very specific to our actions, and those actions might be right and wrong. And the idea is basically explained in a kind of a manner that our action should be right and wrong, and the explanation for our right and wrong should be given by ethics, which is a kind of compendium that we have in the society. Now, I would like to explain values. Values is very much important aspect in our individual life. Individual life means it is different from person to person. And if you search the word value in Oxford Dictionary, you will come to know that it means worth of something. Now, Edward Sprenger, he was a German philosopher and a very famous psychologist. He defines values as the constellations of standards or qualities, characteristics or ideas that determines a person's views of the world. What is meant by this? I'm going to explain it, the contextual meaning of constellation. Constellation means orderly, well organized, and recognizable group of something. It means that those qualities, ideas, characteristics, and standards that we have must be well orderly and recognizable to the rest of the world as well. And they include likes and dislikes, viewpoints, rational and irrational judgments, inner inclinations, should and shouldn'ts, and it also includes interests or personal interests. I'm going to give an example to you so that it gets clear to you people. There might be a lot of people in this room who might like physical sports, but there'll be people who kind of play PC games, right? So it is different approach to different thing. It's a personal thing. Some of the people, they like physical games. Some of the people, they like to play games on personal computers. Similarly, when it comes to point of viewpoints or point of views, so in this case, for example, if I give some aspect of life or some aspect of society, it's a political aspect. So there'll be people who will be going with communism or liberalism or socialism, and they have different point of views about a particular thing, and nobody's going to force them that is it right and wrong. There is no right and wrong. Basically, it's always the viewpoints, it's always the judgments that you have, it's always about the perspective, the concept that we have made. Rational and irrational judgments. Some of the judgments that we have in our lives are rational, while others are irrational. For example, there are people who would be kind of confusing ego and attitude or pride together. Like some of the people, they might be egoistic and they would say that it's my attitude, but it's not the case. Similarly, with shoulds and shouldn'ts, I should do this, I shouldn't do this. It depends upon, it varies from person to person. Now, all the things that I discuss, likes and dislikes, viewpoints, rational and irrational judgments, all these kind of things are very much important because they form basic foundation for understanding our personality, attitudes, behavior, and our perceptions. I would like you to give an attention to the values, then beliefs, then attitude, then behavior, interest, and personality. First of all, we have values. So, what are values? Values are something that are very well established in our subconscious. They are basically beliefs. They are something which we have in the back of our mind. Those beliefs, in return, they shape our conscious beliefs, conscious thoughts, conscious ideas that we have thousands in a single day, in a single movement. And those beliefs, those ideas then regulate or shape our attitude. And attitude formulate or form our personality, our interest, our behavior. So it is very much important to have positive and strong values. Now I would like to talk about the formulation of values. So uh, values are genetically determined. 30 to 35 to 40% they are genetically determined. We inherit most of our values from our parents, and then they are balanced with the help of the environmental factors that we have. Environmental factors basically include culture, philosophy, theology, parental upbringing, parental diction, teachers, friends, peers, colleagues, general life experiences and situations. All these things are very much important. I'm sure that you know about these things, that we kind of attain our values or formulate our values by looking into all these kind of things, or they have been influenced by these people. But the most important thing, especially in childhood, is the upbringing of our parents. How our parents perform their duty. It is very much important because it is scientifically proven that till the age of 7, a child intellect is very much flexible, and it is kind of in a position that can be molded in any form. You know, the cognitive abilities that we have or the child has is can be molded any kind of direction, and it is totally based on how the parent upbring that particular child. So it is very much important. After that, teachers play a very vital role, because when we get 5 years older, so we go to schools, and since then we have interaction with our teachers and the middle school and primary school, then in universities and colleges. So it is very much important that our teachers basically, ethics and values, it is these are something that we learn through practical examples. It can never be formulated, it can never be inclined to into some group of people by just theoretical explanations. So it is very much important to learn ethics by practical examples. Now I would like to give a brief presentation on ethics. So ethics is basically derived from Greek word which means ethos, which means customs, behaviors. Okay, fine, it's fine. Uh, in Oxford Dictionary, if you search the word ethics, it means that moral principles that govern a person's behavior or the conducting of an activity. What is meant by moral principles? Moral principles are related to the rules and regulations that uh, of the motives and the ends of such actions. Let me explain it. There are two things: morality or morals and ethics. So basically, I'm sure that I hope that you people know about Robin Hood. Robin Hood used to steal money from the rich people and used to give it to the poor. And he used to say that basically I'm motivated by my personal morality or moral values or moral standards. Actually, he was doing right, because poor people in that kind of society, uh, the poor people were manipulated by the rich people. So he used to get money from the uh, rich people and used to give it to the poor people. But either can we say that were the ends of such actions in compliance with the standards of the society? No. So actually something might be right and wrong, but ethics made it in compliance with the society, with the standards of the society that we have. There are different kind of values. ethics, school ethics, work ethics, medical ethics, insurance ethics, business ethics, internet ethics, and social ethics. Yes. In simple terms, ethics is a very complicated topic, so I would like to conclude it in simple terms, and that is ethics separates good from bad, right and wrong, fair and unfair, moral and immoral, proper and improper. Ethics are the general rules for personal and collective behavior accepted by the society. Ethics are basically, they are kind of governed by the external force. External force might be something. In social ethics, we have society in general. In medical ethics, there's a medical board. And business ethics, there's also a board. In school and colleges, we have administrations. So an external force regulate and govern all these kind of rules and regulations, which must be in compliance with the society in general. In short, ethics means a code of conduct. It tells a person how to behave with another person. Uh, these are general values, or these are some of the characteristics or qualities that we must have while performing any kind of activity. And it means principles, honesty, right, fairness, responsibility, consciousness, and everything. Now, sources of ethics. Basically, as I told you, that so ethics are formulated or governed by some external forces, but there are some influences that we have in the society. The first one is family. So how a family members perceive right and wrong, it matters a lot. We kind of make our ethical standards with the perception that our family gave us, that is it right and it is wrong. Similarly, the peer influence is very much important. Our friends and colleagues in the society, experiences, how is experiences influencing ethics and society ethics. So we go through different kind of experiences in life. Something might be a little bit superstitious to us, but at a particular time when we go through some critical experiences, we become more rationalized, and our ethics become more logic to us. Religion, there are different kind of religions in the world. All of these religions, they have certain principles, but some of the principles are common, they're universal, and with the help of the expression of divine will that reveals the nature of right and wrong is one of the first factors that influences our ethics and standards. The legal system that we have, law is basically legislations are made in society. There must be rules and regulations through which we conduct particular activities. So law also play important role in formulating ethics. Different approaches to ethics. Along with the sources that we have, there are different approaches to ethics as well. Individualism view, we have utilitarian view, we have justice view, and then we have moral rights view. I'll simply tell you, individualism view is basically, the main focus of individualism view is an individual. It says that first of all, you need to make an individual right, then look into the abstract entity of the society. So it's about individualism. Utilitarian view is, it differentiates wrong from right with the fact that it looks into outcomes. If the outcomes are good, it's fine, it is a good decision that you have made. Justice view is fairness and unfairness. For example, I can give example, it's a very long discussion, but for example, smoking is not allowed in residence room. So it means that it is applied to each and every individual. We must be impartial, we must be fair to all of the people who are sitting here, right? So it kind of restricts individual autonomy. The first one, in the first case, individualism and individual autonomy was appreciated, but in the second case, in justice view, we have a little bit restriction with that. Then we have moral rights. So moral rights, basically, right to attribution. If you have fundamental rights, I've written something, and I should be, if someone is quoting my work, so they are supposed to name me and that particular work. Or if someone is passing derogatory remarks about a particular person, I should have the right to object. So certain decisions should be made in accordance with moral rights view. Morals, values, and ethics, how they work. I'll briefly explain it, and then I'll show an activity as well. Values are basically feelings and instant emotions. They're kind of embedded in our subconscious, as I told you before. Then we have morals guiding behavior. We think about some things, and then we think, okay, what will be the reaction of this particular action, or what will be the results of a particular decision that we make. So it helps us to make a certain make a decision after initial response. Then we have ethics. Ethics is kind of a lawyer. It takes a step back and justify our morals. So look at this example: fork and the road. Fork and the road. It's a metaphor that we can explain as it is actually used in a kind of moment that we need to decide anything in life or history, when a choice between presented options is required, and once made, the choice cannot be reversed. Let me explain it. A person is standing right here, and there are two paths. One is symmetrical, the other one is a little bit unsymmetrical. So when it comes to values, it's all about interest. It all about emotions, something that is embedded in our subconscious. So a person, there might be a person who would look, and if he is into something that is symmetrical, so he would say that I'll follow this path. There is no logical explanation for that. It is something that he has value of or value for. There might be a person that who would be into something unsymmetrical, and he would follow the other things. Then we have morals. Morals is something that that kind of is called guiding behavior. Like, as I told you, we think about something and then we kind of rationalize our actions, right? The rules and regulations that we have to formulate to justify or to rationalize our motives or our actions is basically called law, ethics. Why am I following that way, or why am I following this way? It is the purpose, or it is the job of ethics. We need a lawyer that need to justify our morals or actions or any kind of step that we take. Now, there are difference between ethics and values. I hope that you have at least some idea about it right now. Values is what is important. Ethics, what is right. What should I achieve? What is the correct action? Differ from persons to person. Usually considered universal because it's for everyone. It is something that is governed by society, by a group of people, and it counts each and every individual. Values appreciate motives, while ethics constrains something. It constrains you in a particular set of premises is that you have in the society. Now, let's have a very short activity. I'm going to ask questions, and the purpose of this activity is to let you people know that we studied so far, that how can we signify, how can we differentiate between ethics and values, why they are so much important, how they're interrelated to each other. So the first question is, let's suppose you have 30,000 rupees and you spend 25,000 till the last day of the month. You have fulfilled all your needs and you're done with your luxuries as well. What would you do with the remaining 5,000 RS 5,000? Let me ask if okay, excuse me, can you stand up? Okay, Afif, can you answer this question? What will you do?
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, if the conditions are these, like I have fulfilled my needs and I am left with 5k, so I'm going to save 3,000 rupees, because nothing gives you more flexibility than a saved money. And the rest of 2,000 rupees, I'll donate it to my cousin's charity, Inspire Welfare Foundation.
Okay, thank you so much. Any other person who wants to answer this question? Okay, please.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're.
Okay, so in my point of view, I would donate all the money. I'll save all the money because for my future purposes or all
Okay,
that.
thank you so much. Okay. Now I'll explain what is the purpose of asking this question. The second question is, your best friend doesn't have a good week. He talks less and mostly stays at home. What would be your response to this situation? If someone wants to answer this question, please.
I think if my best friend is not having a good time, it is time for me to act like a good friend too, and maybe ask them, drop a small message on WhatsApp. Hey, what's up? How are you doing? Maybe do you need something? Just a small token of appreciation. Maybe send a smiley emoji, and you never know how your small efforts can make somebody's day. So all you need to do is take the first step.
Okay,
That's it.
Thank you so much. Okay, Afif, what will be your reaction to this situation?
Usually it would be the same, like she explained.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Beauty is an important human value. How do you avail this? Let me explain this question. Beauty, it means how you appreciate aesthetic sense, the kind of the value of aesthetic sense that we have. Like, to make it very simple, how would you like to decorate your room? So I would like to ask girl, please, can you give the mic to her? Yes, how would like to you decorate your room?
I would basically fill my room with books.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you pass the mic to someone? How would you like to decorate your room?
Flowers.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Okay, the fourth question. You are sitting in a metro bus, an old person enters and you notice that there are no seats. What will you do? Let me explain it. All of us mostly, we will stand up and we'll leave our seat to the old person, right? Agreed? Okay. Some guests come to your house. What is the first thing that you do? We welcome them, basically. All of us, we welcome them. First of all, we welcome them, and after that, we ask how they are feeling, and after that, we offer them drinks or teas and stuff like that. Okay. What was the purpose of this activity? You noticed that the answers were different. Somebody explained that he or she would save the money. Somebody said that they are going to text. There might be people who would say that I would ask first of all, and then if he or she is not fine, then I would respect her or his private space and time, right? So values can be different, but at the same time, values can be universal as well. And it is basically the building to the ethics that we have in the society, the social ethics. Like in case of the fourth and the fifth question, right? So these are interrelated to each other. Now, what is the significance of values and ethics? Values and ethics are complementary to each other. They go shoulder to shoulder with each other. They're so important in the society. Values are like different colors, and which are put in a well-orderly manner in the form of ethics. Rainbow is nothing without colors, and those 7 colors which constitute the rainbow will never ever be celebrated if they were not put in this well-orderly manner. So both things are very much important. Values make us diverse, and ethics makes us uniform. Similarly, strong values help us to understand ourselves and others. They also help us to make sense of ethics, and therefore aid us to be in positive conformity with the social norms, customs, and traditions. Last significance that I would like to explain is that they help us to fulfill the social contract at different levels. Where social contract, like we are individual, but at the same time we are social animals as well. We perform different kind of actions, and those actions not only have impact on us, but in the community that we are living also is affected by those actions and choices that we make. I would like to conclude my presentation with these 2 wonderful quotations. One is by Elvis Presley, and I quote, "Values are like fingerprints. Nobody's are the same, but you leave them all, everything you do." The second quote is by Porter Stewart, former Supreme Court Justice. "Ethics, knowing the difference between what you do, what you have a right to do, and the right thing to do." I thank you all.
Thank you so much, Abbas. It was an enlightening presentation. Now moving on to our next segment, which is ethical dilemmas and shipwreck activities. Therefore, at the moment, I'm pleased to invite Ms. Nurulen for this segment.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. How's everyone doing? Are you guys good? First of all, I would like to welcome you all on behalf of English Department UGS. I would like to thank you all for coming here. And I hope you all learned something from the presentation. Did you guys? I can't hear anything. Come on, guys. You haven't even had your first midterms. Did you guys learn anything? Great. So thank you so much for being so patient and sitting through the presentation. Now is the time for some fun activities. I have 2 really, really fun activities planned for you. The first one is talking about our dream person. Now, we're not going to talk about their physical qualities. Now, imagine that you're talking or you're thinking about your dream girl or boy. It can be a Prince Charming or a Princess Charming or whatever you want. Please take a moment and imagine your Prince Charming or your Princess Charming, whatever you want. But we're going to talk about their ethical values. I want you guys to think about them and list the top 3 ethics or the top 3 values that you want them to have. I can tell you mine. I can tell you my first one. The first one that I would want in my dream boy is to be respectful. Respectful of me, respectful of their parents, respectful of everybody around them, because I feel like that falls into the category of integrity. So I would really, really love to listen to what you guys have to say, what our new generation has to say, and kind of think if all of your ethics and values are in the right place too. So please take a moment and think about your dream person. And you have to tell me their top 3 values. Oh, I can point out to anybody in the audience. No volunteer stuff. Was that enough time? Everybody knows their dream person. You all know your types, right? I hope you do. Okay, so I'll just point out to somebody. Please don't look down. It's okay. What about you right there in the black mask? Can you tell me your top 3 values that you would want in your dream person? Can you please give him a mic?
Do we have only 3?
Yeah, just the top 3.
I think respect
Respect, okay.
and loyalty.
Loyalty, okay.
And of course, she's got to be beautiful.
Sorry, what's the third one?
She's got to be beautiful.
Okay. Okay, so you place loyalty on the second number and respect on the first. Why is that? Why not loyalty on the first?
You know, if a person, is respectful, then of course he's loyal. If he's paying you some respect, then of course it means that the loyalty will come at second number.
That's great. That sounds amazing. Can we please give him a big round of applause? And I do hope you find your dream person who has these qualities. Can we please move on to you? You in the glasses at the very back. Yeah, yeah. You.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
I want her that she should like me the way I am, and then I want her to be honest with me. Like, if
So
she,
you rank honesty in the second
Yes.
place too.
and third, she should be respectful of her
Respectful.
friends and my friends.
Your
and-
friends. Okay,
Yes,
great. That
family.
makes sense. Great. Thank you so much. Just one more. I want one from the girls. Can we have you right there? You in the skin dupatta. Can you please get a mic to her?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
I want him to have respect towards my family, first of all. Secondly, I want him to have a good sense of dressing. Third, I want an understanding between us.
Great. Thank you so much. So although that concludes our first activity, I do have a small food for thought for you guys. All of our participants and all of you guys too. You guys thought of your type, right? So I want you guys to think right now or whenever you have the time, do you have those qualities that you want in your spouse or in your other half? Or if you don't, then maybe it's time for you to start taking steps. The first step was listening to this presentation, which I'm sure most of you did. I hope most of you did. and then take steps to make sure that you also are somebody's type, because everybody in the world wants loyalty. They want somebody to be faithful. They want them to exhibit the very same values and ethics that we want in the other person. So make sure that you are somebody else's type so that somebody can find their Prince Charming and Princess Charming too. Let's head over to the second activity. So the second activity is kind of like, I'll present some ethical dilemmas to you guys. There are 3 situations, and you guys have to think about your answer. It's going to be hard, and then tell it to me. The first one is called the shipwreck situation. So imagine you all are not sitting here, you're in the ocean. You're on a ship, but that ship is sinking. But that ship has just one lifeboat, and that lifeboat can have just 10 people on board, but you are 11 people on that lifeboat, and that lifeboat is sinking too. So not only is your ship sinking, your lifeboat is sinking too. So I want to ask you guys, what would you do? You're 11 people, but there's just space for 10. Would you just pick one person out and then throw them in the water to save the 10? Or will you opt for make that all the 11 people are going to drown and you don't want to kill anybody? Or are you going to jump in the water yourself? You can do that too. So please take a few minutes, a few seconds, not minutes, and then think about your answer. What would you do in this ethical dilemma? Again, I'll point out answers. It's very fun, and it keeps you guys engaged. For this activity, you guys will be coming up here, accompanying me. The stage gets lonely. Maybe I have anxiety. So please exhibit some values and come and accompany me here and then tell me your answers. Okay, I think that's enough. Can we have 2 people here? Can we have you in the white scarf? Yeah, you. And can we have somebody from here? Can I have you? Yeah. Please come up here. Let's give them a big round of applause. Great. What's your name? Thank you, Ahmed, for coming here. What do you think you'll do in the shipwreck situation? You can turn.
Save 11 people.
No, you cannot save 11 people. This is like asking Aladdin to give you 7 wishes on your first wish. No, please don't do that. The lifeboat can only support 10 people. So you got to make a choice. Is it 10 people? You kill one person, or you kill all 11? Or you kill yourself?
I will kill one person.
One person?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and how will you choose that one person?
Randomly.
Randomly? Okay, great. Okay, thank you. Okay, what's your name? Moiza. Moiza, what would you do?
I would jump myself and swim to the shore.
I guess.
Then I'll drown because it's so hard to choose one person.
Thank you so much, Moiza. So you guys see we have different answers. One of them would kill one person. We cannot say that that value is wrong because they are indeed saving 10 people. The other one is killing themselves. We cannot say that that's wrong too because they're saving 10 people. So both of them are saving 10 people. So this just shows that there is a very big diversity in ethics and values, and that just depends upon a lot of factors. Just like we saw in the presentation, genetic factors, environmental factors, your own personal inclinations. The second question is, oh, you raised your hand? Yes. Oh, you want to answer? Great. Let's give him the biggest round of applause because he's our volunteer. What's your name?
Imad.
Imad. Thank you so much for coming here. You guys should all learn from him. He came here by himself. Please tell us your answer.
I would arrange a kind of competition between them.
Okay.
So it's fair enough. So
Okay.
I don't get to get the guilt
Okay.
or regret that I chose this one and that one.
Wow, that's
I
a
couldn't
very
choose.
nice answer. Thank you so much. That sounds very fair to me. And honestly, if I had to choose, maybe I'd do something of that sort too, but I'm trying not to think about it. It's very disturbing. Okay, the second scenario is that there is a pair of parents, a mother and a father. Now, they've just had a kid, but that kid has one of the rarest genetic disabilities that you guys can see in the world. What do you think that those parents would do? Or if you were in their position, how would you handle the situation? Would you let that kid grow with that genetic disability and let them go in the world? Or would you opt for intentional death and make sure that they don't have to face the things that they're likely to face because they have a genetic disability? Let's take a few moments and then we'll have two participants here. If you want to volunteer, I respect you. Okay, I think we should have two people here. Can I have you in the yellow scarf with your head down at the back? Can you please come up here? And then can we have you? Yeah, please come here. We have another volunteer. That's great.
Guys, please settle down. The girls standing at the back, trying to move out, please respect the people who are here. This is arranged for you guys. You are learning some ethics, so please respect. Sit down, guys. Settle down.
We have a lot of seats. Two here, there. Okay. Please tell us your name.
So, Momena.
Momina, okay.
And I think in that situation, like I've seen some examples, the people who are having children with genetic disabilities. So if you talk about genetic disabilities, there is no treatment or cure so
Exactly.
far. So the people, most of the people, almost 99%, they opt for the abortion or something like that. They do not actually give birth to that person. Because even if they give birth to that person, the child is going to be suffering for a long time. Exactly. So I think the parents should choose for that, like abortion.
Great,
should be the
great.
choice.
Thank you so much. We have another volunteer. Thank you so much for coming. What do you think? Oh, can I have her first? Just, what's your name?
My name is Khadija Gul.
Khadija. Okay. Thank you so much for coming here. What do you think you should do if you were in their position?
Okay, I will motivate him or her because everyone has a right to live. So
That makes absolute sense. Thank you so much for your answer. Can we give her a big round of applause? And a big round of applause to our volunteer who came here. So what's your name?
Abdullah.
Abdullah. Thank you so much for coming here, Abdullah. What's your answer?
Ma'am, I think killing someone is never been a good option, and everyone has a right to live, and there can be any possible treatment. We
There
don't
is no
know,
treatment. Yeah.
If in future he grows and there would be any kind of treatment, we can treat them.
That makes absolute sense. Thank you so much for your answer. And it again reinforces the idea that ethics and values are very diverse. We have our last situation. I am very sure that you guys can relate to it. It's about COVID. Thank God it's past us. So you are in a working environment and your colleague has been absent, but you know that the reason behind his absence is that he has COVID. But your supervisor does not know that, neither do your fellow colleagues. So what would you do? Would you maintain their privacy and not tell anybody about it? Or would you tell the other people to make sure that they're not affected, or they can take some preventive measures, or they can get themselves tested to make sure that the infection doesn't spread? So what do you think you'll do? You'll maintain their privacy, or you'll tell everybody? And maybe get known as the office snitch. But what would you do? Let's take a few moments and then we'll have two volunteers here. Can I ask? Okay. Can I have you in the black dupatta, and then can I have you in the glasses right here? Yeah, please. Yeah, here. Hi, thank you so much for coming here. What's your name?
Smafia. Smafia.
Samafia. Great name. What's your answer?
I will tell everybody because health comes first, obviously.
Health comes first. That makes sense. Thank you so much for your answer. What do you think?
I will tell everyone to go for preventive measures.
You'll tell everybody. And sorry, what was your name?
Usman.
Usman. Okay. Thank you so much, Usman, for your answer. I hope you guys enjoyed these activities. These were just some fun ways to make you understand the ethics and values and their diversity, and at the same time reinforce their importance too. Have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for tolerating me.
Thank you so much, Noor. It was a wonderful interactive segment. Now moving on to our next activity, which comprises of short video clips on ethics and values. So let's welcome Ms. Nabahat Azim for this activity. A big round of applause for Nabahat.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Nabahat, and we have all got to know about ethics, and we have learned something. We have seen by the activities of Noor that how we are going to perform in different situations that happens to us, and how ethical we are there in these situations. So here I'm going to present some of the short clips, short videos. What you guys have to do is just to look at these clips and answer that what you will be doing in these particular situations. So it's just these situations, these videos are from everyday life situations, and you will get to know that how you are going to act in these situations. We have learned about what are ethics and how to behave in certain situations. So here, these are some experiences from our everyday life. What you just have to do is to look at these video clips and to answer that how you are going to behave according to the ethics which have been discussed here, that how you are going to behave in these particular situations. Remember, I'll ask for the volunteers for the questions as well, so please be active. Okay, start the video,
Yeah,
please.
thank you for raising your hand. Do you have a question? On Naruto, they don't use the same characters in all the movies. Yes, that is a great example. Sometimes it happens on Harry Potter. Harry Potter is a great movie. I like it when Harry and Voldemort finally.
When Ron and Hermione find Harry and they.
Harry Potter is a stupid movie.
Hey man, I like that movie.
Stop. Everyone needs to.
Okay, so this is the first clip that you have seen. And now this happens in everyday life. You are all the students, and whenever our teacher sparks any of the argument, argument in this class, what happens is that everyone starts to speak. And there is no ethics when we are speaking. We should learn that what are the ethics involved in the group discussion. So this is a clip that tells you that how you will behave ethically when you are in the class, when you are in any kind of group, when you are discussing something. So very first ethic is obviously that you should respect, you should wait for your turn, you should raise your hand, and then you will answer something. In this situation, you can see that everyone is speaking something and no one is understanding any particular thing. So this is a very common situation that happens to us in our everyday life. Teachers are speaking and students are not paying attention, and they are just giving their arguments without any respect. So one of the very basic ethic is that we have to respect everyone's opinion. We have to speak on our own time, on our own turn. We have to raise our hand before speaking. So this is a very basic ethic when you have to, when you are in any group discussion, especially when you are in the class, because you have to respect your teachers. This is a very basic thing that you have to learn from this one. Okay, next.
The drivers involved in the crash must still report it to law enforcement as soon as possible. You must make the report to the nearest police agency.
Okay, stop. Now, this is another situation. Any one of you have been in a car accident, and the person you hit the car off is not in the car. So it is a very common thing for you, or it's very easy for you to just go away from there, not let the owner know about it, not report this, and just go away from that situation. What will happen is that you don't have to pay for anything. You will just be free. You are not paying for anything. You are not investing your time in any kind of situation. So what will you do in this kind of situation? You have hit someone's car, the owner is not there. Ethically, will you be reporting this, or will you just ignore the scene and go away from the scene? You will not involve in the hassle of anything. What will you do? Anyone?
And then in my opinion, if I struck the car of someone, then I will wait for till he come back, and I will say him that let's go to the workshop and I will repair and pay for it. That's all.
That's very nice. So this is the basic ethical value we all should follow, because that is your mistake, and the one who is the owner has even don't know about what happened there. So it's very easy for you to avoid the hassle and everything. Yes, please.
Today, most
my
people use
question
their
is-
cell phones to report.
My question is that if we are hitting someone cars, and it depends whether if the person who hits the car is not economically stable, so he will choose to just leave that place, because he will fall into this tragedy. So he is unable to pay. So what he should do? Although he has ethics in his in his personality, but due to economical, he cannot pay this. So he choose to just flee away from that situation. So what is it? So what should we do that person?
Okay, so if he is not in the place to pay, I think at least the basic ethical value will be to inform that person that this is my mistake, I have done it, but I don't have money to pay for that. So at least you will inform that person. You will be clear by your side. And if you don't have anyone to, you don't know the owner is and where he is, you can maybe report to police, or mostly where the parkings are there, the guard is there, you can inform the guard as well. So you should be clear from your side at least. Anyone else? Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. If I would have been in this type of situation, and just my colleague said that if I'm unable to pay, economically not stable, at least I would just write my cell phone number and the excuse on the piece of paper and place it somewhere safe near the car.
That is
So
great.
that's it.
That is great. Okay, so you see how instead of just leaving the place and avoiding yourself to get into any hassle or anything, you choose to inform that person, or you choose to at least react on on any part of that, so that it actually depicts your character. That do you have integrity? Do you have the honesty to inform that about the particular situation? Okay, next video.
Car accidents. However,
Okay,
In
this
this
is the
short
next
video,
one.
you'll meet Morgan and Jesse, two friends who had a falling out that lead to cyberbullying, which puts their teacher in a complicated position. Use the questions in this discussion post as a guide as you watch. Morgan and Jesse were teasing each other at lunchtime. Their teacher heard the exchange and quickly separated the students, shut down the behavior, sent them separately to the office, and wrote a report. Rather than continue the teasing at school, Morgan starts an open Facebook group to continue teasing Jesse online. At home, Jesse tells their parents what happened.
Okay, stop there. Okay, this is another situation. Now, this is very common in our society that because of our social networks and everything, this is becoming very common in the society. What happens is that whenever any two people get into the fight, they make groups of that particular situation and they start cyberbullying and everything. So this is another situation which has been presented. Now these two kids are in the fight, and the kid make Facebook page and start bullying the girl there on that page. So now, for example, you are the friend of that boy. So how will you be? What you will be doing? In that particular situation, how will you stopping your friend in that situation that not to bully her? Obviously, I know that almost all of us will be in the condition to stop that particular situation. Instead of just encouraging that, we'll try to stop it. So how you will stop your friend to not bully her? Any volunteers? Or maybe I just pick myself. Okay, you. What you will do? What same? Okay, great. That is great. That you will start. You will do that. Okay, but don't you think that it will just encourage that type of behavior? No, we need to discourage that type of behavior.
Then she will understand what's actual pain.
Okay, okay, that's your opinion. I want to say anything. Yes.
I'll make him realize that the same can happen to you tomorrow, to your family, and maybe to your sister as well. So in
Great.
this I may
Great, great, excellent. So yeah, yes, please.
First, I will talk to him personally that this is not good, don't do this. And if the situation doesn't settle, I will simply report the page and the Facebook will automatically block or
Exactly.
abandon that page.
Very good. So you need to take some actions because cyberbullying is one of the very common crime happening to in our society, and it's just very difficult to handle, and it affects the person on a very deep level. So we need to stop it in any way we can. Okay, this is the last video. Okay, stop there. Okay, this is the situation you can read on your screens. That it is more about how you spread a rumor in our society. This is another very common issue we face in our everyday life. Either it's on a very small scale, on a very large scale. This rumor spreading is very common. So how you will stop that rumor or what you will do in this situation. The situation is in front of you if anyone can answer. The person is spreading rumor about others, and and there's nothing basic. There's no basics on which they are spreading the rumors. How you will stop that rumor on your own part? Yes.
I think that if I know who is spreading those rumors, I can go to that person.
Okay, this is the next one. Again, it's about overhearing, and another very common situation, another very common issue we face every day. So this is the situation when you overhear something about your friend. Now this is a very complicated situation. On one side it's your friend, you have to inform him. On the other side it's your boss, and you are not in a position to inform as well. So what you will do? Yes.
Course, we will tell him so he can find another job in these 2 weeks for him.
Okay, so you won't wait for the boss to tell him himself?
The boss should tell him very early so he can find him another job. That
Okay.
will be
Okay,
some good.
yes.
Life is all about keeping both the poles combined. I should put my own self into such a situation and will tell my friend that I have heard that I'm losing the job nowadays. Things are getting worse and worse. We have no job security. Our boss is furious about us. We should think about other plans and perspectives so that I won't be regretful in both of the situation that I have deceived my boss as well as I'm not a good friend. So in life, we have to maintain the both things. This was
Very
my
good, very good. This is a very great answer. Because if you just tell your friend, it will be like you overhear something and you will be famous as that you overhear the things. And if you don't want tell your friend, it will be like you are betraying your friend as well. So according to this answer, his answer, that's very correct. And in that type of situation, it will handle both of the things. Okay, next scenario. Okay, skip this one. Skip this one. Okay, this is the last scenario we have, and it is more about the ethnicities, the different cultures, the different values people have, different religions people have, and how we have to respect them. And so, this is the situation you have, what you will do in this particular situation. Yes.
Okay, am I audible? Okay, first of all, I'll compliment her hair and I'll tell her how amazing she looks in those hair, and then I'll try to talk to my colleagues and tell them that it is not a good way to interact with your other colleagues. Even if you are amused by their hair, just compliment them. Don't ask them to touch it or something like that, because that goes out of hand sometimes.
Great. We have to respect every culture, every ethnicity, every race, every religion. So we do not have to be biased about anything. And this is a very basic ethic that we should be respectful towards everyone. So with this, we mark the end of this activity. And this is about how you will behave in the particular social situations according to the ethics and what you have been seen. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nabat, for sharing. We hope it would aid our audience. Now, our next segment will be conducted by Momna Shakur and Zunira Amjad, contains various segments. And this is the last segment, guys. A big round of applause for Nabahat. Oh, sorry, for
Sorry, Assalamu alaikum guys. I'm Momina Shkoor and she's my co-host Sunaira. We won't take much of your time, as we already know you guys are not that much interested. It's written on your faces. So please bear with us for just 5 minutes. We'll just talk about two things. There's this chart. Sunaira, can you display that? And can someone read it out for me? The absence of me is greed. Who am I? It's a moral and ethical value. Can I have some guesses from the audience, please? What do you think the answer is? What else? Generosity? And any other guesses? No. It's about G. G for greed, and G for generosity, and G for gratitude, should I say? Gratitude. And just to wrap it up, how many of you have been grateful in this, just like this morning, just for being alive? I'm not talking about much things. Did you think like a lot of people who slept last night, but they died in the sleep? And I've just had like one of my family members, he had died like the last night. So I'm just including that perspective. We do not know if we are going to wake up in the morning or not. So are you being grateful for that? Are you being grateful for it? Seriously? Are you being grateful that you have a breakfast to have? Because most of the people like flood affectees, they don't have it. And the people who have come who kind of come to the university by buses, we see a lot of people like under the metro buses or something like this, that metro stations, who do not have any place to live, who do not have any clothing. So are you being grateful for that? So it doesn't take much to be grateful. You have to be, kind of have an attitude of gratitude. It doesn't take much time, but how should you practice gratitude? Like, I'll give you a brief example of greed. We all know the story of Adam and Eve, right? They were living all good and mighty in the heavens. But how did the punishment come upon them? Like, what was the reason of their punishment? Yes, wanting for more. They were just, they had all the luxuries of the Jannah, of heavens, but they were just asked to stay away from one tree. But the temptation and greed, like wanting for more and never being satisfied with the already blessings that you already have, that you're already enjoying. So the greed is about wanting for more, not being satisfied with the blessings you already have. And we have to overcome this greed. But there are two kinds of greed. Greed, like some philosophers and some psychologists also say, greed is actually the basic impulse, like neurological impulse, that is kind of a motivation to start doing your work, to overwork, to excel, to do better, because you have to provide, kind of provide for your family, you have to provide for your friends, you have to be available, you have to be kind of basically survive. So you have to be simply grateful first, and then you have to have an attitude of gratitude in a sense. Just smile. All of you can smile, right? If someone is going like passing through this door, it doesn't matter if you're a girl or a boy, just hold the door for the person behind you. Just send random text messages to your loved ones showing like you value them, you understand their situations. Mostly like we do not realize the importance of what our parents have been providing for us for so long. And if there is any problem, we'll just say, there is this toxic parent culture. The youth, kind of always is mentioning that toxic parenting. No, the parents cannot be toxic. They are never toxic. I don't think so. Because you are not being grateful about it. That is my perception. But still, all of you, if, if there is any problem with your parents, what we think is, we are always being right. You are wrong. The parents, we kind of have that generation gap and they don't understand us. So I'll just have to remind you, you have to be grateful just for being alive. You have to be grateful that you are among less than 10% of the Pakistani people who are able to enjoy the higher education as well. You have to smile. You have to send random text messages. You have to express love and gratitude. You have to express kindness. Just that. Thank you. Can you read it?
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. This is me, Zanera Amjad from 2A Morning. Okay, so can anyone read it? Yes, please.
The absence of me.
So, any guesses? The absence of me is rudeness. That's also an ethical value. Kindness, or a similar kind of word, politeness. Right? Kindness or politeness. Right. So when we talk about rudeness, that isn't a new term for us, right? in our lives we either have experienced rudeness, or we ourselves have been rude to some other people. So if I ask, what is rudeness? Rudeness is about the manner you talk to someone. For example, rudeness is like talking to someone in a rough manner, right? That shows lack of courtesy in you, right? So, for example, what happens that when someone, we think that if someone is behaving in a rude manner, they don't seem to care about other people's feelings or emotions, right? If someone is rude, means he's not caring about your feelings. They are just being rude. So, just as a way, we say that one of the very strong example that I would like to highlight about rudeness is that as for example, we are sitting with our parents and they are talking to us, and what do we usually do? For most of the times we just don't pay attention to them, or for example, I'm using my phone and they are talking to me. That's not just very rude, but also very disobedient kind of factor, and we should not, that's an example of rudeness, right? So I want you to think, like, for example, somebody comes to you and talks to you in a rude way for no reason, like they are being rude to you. How does that affect you? How do you feel? Do you feel good? We feel bad, right? Such people can be mood spoilers as well, and your entire day can pass in a very bad way just because of that rude behavior. Similarly, the ethical value that was politeness, right? This world needs more of politeness. We can do little things that give polite sort of gestures. For example, holding the door for someone to pass by, irrespective of gender. Like, you can hold the door for